That's what they do in Minnesota, in Minnesota. happy Polka Sunday morning, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Polka Show of Northwest Ohio and the world. You have made the choice to listen to fine polka music, the Polish word of the day, as well as news from Poland. I'm your host, David Jackson, and this is going to be a splendid hour of those three things: music, the news, and the word. That was What Do They Do in Minnesota from the fabulous Six Fat Dutchmen. And before that, we heard the Brass Connections' splendid version of the old Beatles tune, Help. What a way to kick off a Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. It is more appreciated than you know. Let's take a look at that Polish word of the day for the first time. It's a fun one. Pić. Pić. It's a verb. Wielbłądy znane są z tego, że rzadko piją, is the word of the day in a sentence. And I gotta say, it's not the kind of sentence you're probably going to say that often. I've been to Poland about 15 times, and I've rarely found the need to say this sentence, but it certainly demonstrates the use of the word in a sentence. Alrighty, back into the music. Let's hear from Jimmy Weber and the Sounds with the classic Pije Kuba.
Pije Kuba do Jakuba, Jakub do Michała. Wiwet ci, wiwet wi, kompania cała. A kto nie wypije, tego we dwa kije. Łupu, supu, supu, łupu, nie po polsku żyje. A kto nie wypije, tego we dwa kije. Łupu, supu, supu, łupu, nie po polsku żyje. Hej, hej! Pije Kuba do Jakuba, Jakub do Michała. Wiwet ci, wiwet wi, kompania cała. A kto nie wypije, tego we dwa kije. Pupu, supu, supu, pupu, nie po polsku żyje. A kto nie wypije, tego we dwa kije. Pupu, supu, supu, pupu, nie po polsku żyje. Jakuba, Jakub do Michała. Piją ja, pijesz ty, kompania cała. A kto nie wypije, tego we dwa kije. Pupu, supu, supu, pupu, nie po polsku żyje. A kto nie wypije, tego we dwa kije. Pupu, supu, supu, pupu, tego we dwa kije. Hej, na lewo, na prawo, do tańca.
It's time to make plans for the Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan. Hi, folks, Mark Jansen. That's right, join us August 10th through the 14th for Summer Music Fest 2021. 5 days with some of the nation's most popular polka bands, including Lenny Gomulka, The Boys, Molly B and Squeezebox, Polka Family, Stephanie, the Polka Country Musicians, Box On, the Easy Tones, and the New Brass Express. Held in the huge 28,000 square foot Harvey Kern Pavilion with the biggest dance floor around. Music, drinks, food, friends, and fun are all part of Frankenmuth, Michigan's #1 tourist attraction and one of the nation's premier polka events, the Summer Music Fest. For all the information, go to frankenmuthfestivals.com or call us at 1-800-FUN-FEST. The 33rd Annual Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan, August 10th through the 14th. Go to frankenmuthfestivals.com or call us at 1-800-FUN-FEST. The Summer Music Fest is brought to you in part by Drury Hotels and Fabiano Brothers.
Gonna haunt the haunt I've haunted like a million times or more. A familiar joint where getting drunk's the only point. To frequent this place with any frequency at all. Counting on a remedy I've counted on before. Going with the cure that's never failed me. What you call the disease, I call the remedy. What you call in the cause, I call the cure. Gonna sing a song to you, a song I've sung before. Belt out a bandit that I've belted out a million times or more. The words I'm gonna scream and getting drunk's the central theme to the lyrics if you can. Make the lyrics out at all. Counting on a remedy I've counted on before. Going with a cure that's never failed me. What you call the disease, I call the remedy. What you call in the cause, I call the cure. Just a devotion to a potion. Now please no applause. A dedication to a medication, a crutch, a cure, a cause. What I've counted on to pick me up has knocked me to my knees. Before I hit the floor once more, I'll call it the disease. Counting on a remedy I've counted on before. Going with a cure that's never failed me. What you call the disease, I call the remedy. What you call in the cause, I call the cure. Sing a song I've sung a million times
Hey, 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 wasn't that a heck of a set of polka music? I certainly think so. But then again, I'm biased because I chose the songs here on the Sunday Morning Polka Show of Northwest Ohio and the world with your host, David Jackson. That was the Naturals doing one called Maybe One, sure. And then we heard Freeze Dry doing a bleak little number called Another Drinking Song. And we heard the fabulous Sounds Orchestra doing Pia Kuba. Kind of a tribute right there to the Polish word of the day, which is peach. I won't do the sentence again. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with the season of the fruit that come in at this time in southwest Michigan. Although it sounds exactly the same. That's the beautiful thing about Polish, is even when the words sound like English words, they are not the same. Anyway, let's listen to some news from Poland, shall we? Yes, we shall. This is from Bloomberg News. Poland on alert after act of terror from anti-vaccine group. Unknown perpetrator set fire to vaccination center in Zamość. Poland isn't vaccinated enough as fourth COVID wave may emerge. Polish authorities are preparing measures to confront violence inspired by anti-vaccine groups after an inoculation center was set ablaze in a town in the country's southeast. Health Minister Andrzej Niedzielski, who traveled to the site in the town of Zamość on Monday, called the deed an act of terror against the state and a clash of civilization against barbarity. The incident is another example of the anti-vax movement becoming bolder in its attempts to undermine Poland's inoculation campaign. Videos have spread on social media in recent days of people verbally abusing paramedics and vaccination center workers from other Polish towns. Poland has vaccinated nearly 17.5 million of its citizens, which authorities say is short of the goal needed to achieve herd immunity. The government hopes vaccinations will reduce the scale of hospitalizations during a new wave of the pandemic that is expected to emerge in the coming weeks.
Na zdrowie, wypijmy brat. Na zdrowie, wypijmy brat. Raz, dwa, do dna! Na zdrowie, chłopcy, na zdrowie, na zdrowie, bracie, będziesz śpiewał i będziesz pięknie muzykę grał. Picie gorzałkę ja wam nalał. Na zdrowie, chłopcy, na zdrowie, hej, hej, na zdrowie, chłopcy. Razem wypijemy, będziemy śpiewać, polkę tańcować. Na zdrowie wszystkim, hej, na zdrowie. Pijmy jednego i drugiego, będziemy śpiewać, hej, wesoło. Pijmy trzeciego i czwartego, na zdrowie, chłopcy, na zdrowie, hej, hej, na zdrowie, chłopcy. Razem wypijemy, będziemy śpiewać, polkę tańcować. Na zdrowie wszystkie, hej, na zdrowie.
let's stop thinking.
Let's start drinking.
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 Times are tough, one that we all agree. Look to the sky, dark clouds all to see. Bad news all around me, not sure where to turn. Let this be a lesson that I learned. Let's stop thinking, let's start drinking. Abandoned ship, I know it's sinking. Raise a glass, I hear them clinking. Let's stop thinking.
Let's start drinking.
On the couch, we spill the beans. Tell our troubles, tell our dreams. Just can't sleep, I'm all wound up. Why are things so damn tough? Let's stop thinking, let's start drinking. Abandoned ship, I know it's sinking. Raise a glass, I hear them clinking. Let's stop thinking.
Let's start drinking.
Come on, let's hear for the fabulous Alex Meister, everybody.
Johnny has a soccer game, Susie has ballet. We have to plan and schedule every moment of the day. Republican or Democrat, yellow shirt or blue. In a world so full of choices, I know just what to do. Let's stop thinking, let's start drinking. Abandoned ship, I know it's sinking. Raise a glass, I hear them clinking. Let's stop thinking.
Let's start drinking.
I know that look, I see you winking. Neon lights are like a beacon. No more sorrow, no more freaking. Let's stop thinking, let's start drinking. Let's stop thinking, let's start drinking. Abandoned ship, I hear it sinking. Raise a glass, I hear them clinking. Let's stop thinking.
Let's start drinking.
Let's stop thinking, let's start drinking. Abandoned ship, I know it's sinking. Raise a glass, I hear them clinking. Let's stop thinking.
Nice. How about that?
We're going to do a tune called Lucy Down the Aisle right now. A little bit of a song called Lucy Down the Aisle, going back a few years from my misspent youth. So here we go, Lucy Down the Aisle. There's a hush that is falling in the old church as the maid and best man join and find their way. And in the foyer she stands with Dad awaiting. The time has come and she must be on her way. She takes her first step a little nervous. She looks to Dad, he says he'll be okay. And as they stroll down the aisle with horns a-playing, the crowd all stands and I know you'll hear them say, there goes Lucy walking down the aisle, arm in arm with Dad and wearing one big smile. And with the one she's chosen hers for life, they'll walk together, man and wife, and he'll take Lucy walking down the aisle. This day will live on in their memory. Together, summer, winter, spring, and fall. And as they grow old, they'll love one another. Thanks to that first step that started it all. There goes Lucy walking down the aisle, arm in arm with Dad and wearing one big smile. And with the one she's chosen hers for life, they'll walk together, man and wife, and he'll take Lucy walking down the aisle. Let's go Lucy down the aisle. Gonna feature Kern on the vocal right now.
That was Lucy Down the Aisle, live in Bay City, Michigan, from the fabulous Dynabrass Orchestra at the St. Stan's Festival from a few years ago. Before that, we heard Let's Stop Thinkin' and instead Commence to Drinkin' by the Alex Meixner Band. We heard a little bit of John Gora doing Na Zdrovia, and we heard a little bit of Marion Lush doing Na Zdrovia, To Your Health. This is the Sunday Morning Polka Show of Northwest Ohio, close enough to the bottom of the hour for us to say that to you. We don't have a radio station to tell you we broadcast from because we are an independent polka podcast produced by yours truly, David Jackson, in my fabulous office, as the boys in the Randy and Eric used to say on their fabulous show, The Sons of the Grange, from the, the Little Wally Studios, high atop the 110 stories. Well, I've already forgotten how it went. But anyway, this is what we do. We put together a fine, I believe, polka podcast, 1 hour long, once a week. That's all we ask for. Hey, let's take a listen to that Polish word of the day. Always a fun part of the show. Today's Polish word of the day is peach. I like saying it that way, like a peach, peach, peach. It is not a noun, it is a verb. Wielbłądy znane są z tego, że rzadko piją. There you go. That is the Polish word of the day, and the Polish word of the day in a sentence. Let's begin a 6-song set of polka music. It's one of the things we do in the middle of the show once we're moving and grooving. We've got it going, and we've got the Polish word of the day a few times. We've got the news from Poland. Now it's time to settle in and hear 6 fabulous polkas or waltzes or obereks in a row. Here's brand new music from Randy Krajewski and the boys in Badenov. That new record is about to come out any minute now, although I'm pretty sure it'll be a CD. Here's one called The Hot Peppers.
śpiewałem, jak byłem młodym chłopakiem. Wesoły czasy ja miałem. Ulala, 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 la, 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 ulala, 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 la, la. Zabawie się widziałem, ja Ciebie poznałem, ja Cię polubiałem, kiedyś będziesz moja droga, kiedyś będziesz moja żona. Ulala, 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 la, 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 ulala, 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 la, la, ulala, 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 la, 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 ulala, 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 la, la.
Moja żonka w kraju, a ja w Ameryce. Moja żonka w kraju, a ja w Ameryce. Ja ciężko pracujem, ja ciężko pracujem, ja ciężko pracujem w żelaznej fabryce. Ja ciężko pracuję, w żelaznej fabryce. Jak ja zacznę lepiej w tej fabryce robić, jak ja zacznę lepiej w tej fabryce robić, będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka w nowych sukniach łodzić. Będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka w nowych sukniach łodzić. Jak ci ją przestanę w tej fabryce robić, jak ci ją przestanę w tej fabryce robić, będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka w zimie posłuchodzić. Będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka, będzie moja żonka w zimie posłuchodzić.
to ten mały nie mógł zdążyć, to ten mały nie mógł zdążyć. Jak ten mały nie mógł zdążyć, to ten duży przestał krążyć, to ten duży przestał krążyć. A jak duży przestał krążyć, to ten mały mógł już zdążyć, to ten mały mógł ją zdążyć. Znowu zaczął krążyć, duży znowu zaczął krążyć. A jak duży zaczął krążyć, mały znowu nie mógł zdążyć, mały znowu nie mógł zdążyć. Mały mychał, lewo dychał, duży mychał go popychał, duży mychał go popychał. Aż na ziemię odpadały tańcujące dwa mychały, tańcujące dwa mychały.
There it is, the fabulous 6-song set of polka music here on the Sunday Morning Polka Show. Yes, indeed, that was the Two Michaels polka by Special Delivery. Not brand new music from them, but pretty darn new from 2015. We heard an oldie but a goodie from Eddie Blazonczyk, the Iron Foundry. We heard Happy Louie's version of the Mountaineer Polka. We heard Polka Family doing Ooh La La, When We Met, that one's called. We heard Our Gang Obetic from Chuck Pendrak. And we heard brand new music from Randy Krajewski and all of the boys in the Badenov Orchestra. An old Marion Lush instrumental called the Hot Peppers Polka. When I'm eating hot peppers, I think it's very important to peach, which is the Polish word of the day. Wielbłądy znane są z tego, że rzadko piją, is a not so properly pronounced Polish word of the day in the sentence, but it's just not a word I use very often. Wielbłądy. Wielbłądy znane są z tego, że rzadko piją. All right, well, there it is. You won't have to hear it many more times. Actually, you could stop hearing it altogether if you just shut off the show. But that's not the sort of thing that a host of a radio broadcast is supposed to say. Hey, if you want to win a pair of free tickets to the Frankenmuth Summer Music Festival, for which you heard an advertisement earlier in the broadcast today, all you need to do is send an email to sundaypolka@gmail.com. SUNDAYPOLKA. SUNDAYPOLKA@gmail.com, and you will be entered to win. You've got a pretty good chance. There's a lot of people entered, but it isn't in the thousands yet. So go ahead and send us that email and get your name entered in the big contest. All right, let's get back into some music here. Here's the Czechaholics doing one inspired by the Iron Foundry polka from Blazonczyk, one they call At the Mill. And because it's a fabulous Czech tune, I send that out to the love of my life, my wife, Lori. At the Mill.
możliweczka do zielonego. Aha, do zielonego. Aha, do zielonego. Napłukała myśliweczka bardzo czarnego. Aha, bardzo czarnego. Aha, bardzo czarnego. Gdzie jest ta ulica, gdzie jest ten dom? Gdzie jest ta dziewczyna, co kocham ją? Znalazłem ulicę, znalazłem dom. Znalazłem dziewczynę, co kocham ją. Myśliweczku, kochaneczku, bardzo ci rada. Aha, bardzo ci rada. Aha, bardzo ci rada. Dałabym ci chleba z masłem, ale go zjadła. Aha, alem go zjadła. Aha, alem go zjadła.
Sing it, Stanley.
Gdzie jest ta ulica, gdzie jest ten dom? Gdzie jest ta dziewczyna, co kocham ją? Znalazłem ulicę, znalazłem dom. Znalazłem dziewczynę, co kocham ją. Gdzie jest ta ulica, gdzie jest ten dom? Gdzie jest ta dziewczyna, co kocham ją? Znalazłem ulicę, znalazłem dom. Znalazłem dziewczynę, co kocham ją. Znalazłem dziewczynę, co kocham ją.
Śmierci miesiącego na niebie, chodź mnie dziewczyno do siebie. Polska, orasa, Polska, kiełbasa, chodź mnie dziewczyno do siebie. Jakże ja ciebie puścić mam, bo jak sierota, a tyś pan. Osa, orasa, Polska, kiełbasa, bo jak sierota, a tyś pan.
Hossa Horasa from the fabulous Dynatones. Hope you like that one. I sure did. We heard Special Delivery doing the... No, that wasn't Special Delivery. That was the Steve Javitsky Band doing the Strolling Girl Waltz. And we started off that fabulous set with the Checkaholics doing one they call At the Mill. Well, let's take one last visit to the old Polish word of the day. Pić. It means to drink. Wielbłądy znane są z tego, że rzadko piją, means camels are known to drink rarely. Like I say, been to Poland more than, at least, well, anyway, 15 times, and I can honestly say I don't think I've ever used the word camels in a sentence, but definitely I've used the word peach in a sentence, because one does eat and drink while one is in Poland. Well, as the Car Talk guys used to say, you've done it again. You've squandered a perfectly good hour listening to this show. But we sure do appreciate it, because if not, we'd be playing radio, and we're perilously close to that anyway. So if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, we will be back next week. And until then, do zobaczenia. We're going to head out with some fabulous music from Dr. Kielbasa. That's what we're going to do, Dr. Kielbasa. And we're going to hear one that everybody's going to like a whole bunch. This one is called Before the Teardrops Polka. All right, see you next week. Bye-bye.
If he brings you happiness, then I wish you all the best. It's your happiness that matters most of all. But if he ever breaks your heart, if the teardrops ever start